What's going on, everybody? Noxie here with another Mental Health Monday. Should be Mental Health video number 3 or episode number 3. Today, I want to go over Hypomania with Bipolar 2. I believe there's a lot of misconceptions out there regarding Hypomania, and now not everyone's going to be the same when it comes to it. I'm not currently in a hypomanic state or a hypo state. I am just in an elevated baseline, but I have some pretty elevated energy, so it's possible that I may be going into a hypo state in the near future. Uh, that remains to be seen, and if you want to track that, make sure you check out and join my Discord. The link will be in the description below. That being said, hypomania is best way I can explain it is everyone's moving in slow motion compared to you. You're moving at a regular pace, but everything else is moving in slow motion. Um, you have a lot of what we call racing thoughts. So for me personally, I have a lot of different ideas and things I want to do, and they're constantly coming in and going out. So it makes it really hard for me to focus. Personally, really, really hard to focus unless I'm thoroughly interested in something. I'll bounce between tasks and I'll have kind of like a mental list of things I want to do. Um, but nothing happens in any such order, and it's kind of like I start doing things, and then, oh yeah, I need to do this, and then, oh yeah, I need to do this, and then this, and then this, and then you start doing one thing, and you find something new that you need to do, and then you keep bouncing around from there. Uh, Hypomania is a state where you have a ton of energy. You tend to have elevated speech, more rapid speech. You tend to be more reckless. Personally, for me, I tend to drive really fast, and I've gotten up to like 120 before. There's a lot of agitation, especially with traffic. You tend to be much more reckless with weaving in and out. At least that's my experience. There can be the tendency to um, spend a lot of money recklessly, but there's also the tendency to be super creative, super positive, euphoric. You're getting a lot of things done. It's a very active state, and can be very enjoyable when it's not uncomfortable. Because there are periods of time, especially towards late hypomania, where things do get quite uncomfortable. Especially when you're wanting to, what we would say, land or come down from this hypo state where you're really elevated and you just kind of want to get down to baseline without crashing. It's very uncomfortable because your body needs to just be going, 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 and your brain's just firing on all synapses like crazy. So staying still or even just laying in bed can be excruciating, and you don't tend to sleep very much. And you can feel very rested after just a couple of hours of sleep, which I typically do when I'm in a hypo state. I'm getting 2, maybe 3 hours of sleep a night, and I feel like I've gotten, 8 to 9 hours. I'm fully rested, ready to go, and then I can just keep firing on all cylinders, doing exactly what I need to do. Um, so hypomania for me is an incredibly productive state until I get to the late stages, where it can become more pure mania, and I can even become manic. I'll start talking more about manic in another episode, but that's even far more destructive and really not good for you. So, hypomania and hypo is, it can be very enjoyable. It's euphoric, you get a lot done, you're goal oriented, you have a lot of ideas, you're very, very creative. You can be forgetful, so sometimes it really helps to write things down. And then you want to be kind of mindful of your spending and recklessness. So, um, especially if I get like manic, I'll leave my wallet at home if I have to go out, just because I can have the tendency to spend everything I have. That is a distinct possibility, and I don't want that to happen. So leave the wallet at home, especially when it happened with my last manic episode. But I digress. Hypo, some people can tell the difference, especially if you're not overly accustomed to bipolar disorder or you don't really understand it fully. I had someone who my last hypo episode noticed because I was so upbeat and just on it. He's like, wow. He's like, I think I'm starting to understand because you seem very, very elevated and you seem to have a ton of energy. And I'm like, yep, I'm currently in a stage of hypo and I've got a ton of energy and I'm just flying high. And one of the things you'll feel on top of the world, you'll feel unstoppable. Towards the later stages, you can even feel like a god and everyone's beneath you. And this is a very, very typical stage of hypo and hypomania. So it is very dangerous, especially in the late stages, but it's very, very enjoyable, especially in the early to mid stages. So a lot of people who begin a hypo stage don't, at least in my experience, don't necessarily want it to end until they start getting really uncomfortable. I am the same way. Once I start getting really uncomfortable, I want to land, especially when I start having dangerous thoughts. And it's not necessarily about harming myself, it could be just doing malicious things. So, definitely want to be very, very mindful of that and stay on top of your meds. Now, my current med that helps bring me up and out of the depressive state really tends to be an energy booster, and it's very, very easy if you're not careful with the medication to go into a medicinally induced hypomanic episode. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going into the manic episode. You could just go straight into hypo. It's possible to go anywhere in that scale, and it's possible for nothing to happen. Typically, mine have been medicinally induced, especially as of late, but not all of mine are medicinally induced. I've been at a stable dose for quite some time now, and I'm starting to feel even more elevated. And once I hit that euphoric stage and start getting those racing thoughts, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the hypo stage. I'm already starting to feel really, really good about myself. Self-confidence is going up, productivity is starting to go up as I've redone wiring at home, I've started doing a lot more editing, I've done a lot more streaming, I've been productive around the house, so that's a sign that I'm starting to trend up in a positive direction or into a hypo state. So that is something, if you want to follow my progress where I'm at, definitely join the Discord and check out my Twitter. I do post and talk about that regularly within my Discord and on my Twitter. So if you want to keep up with that, check out there. Now, next episode, before I start wrapping up, I'm either going to go over, I do have one story from a friend. So I'm probably going to go over that in episode either 4 or 5. And on either episode 4 or 5, depending on which I decide to order, I will be going over a depressive state and what that's more like. So make sure you stay tuned for all of those videos. Those will be coming up hopefully in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to try and do mental health Mondays. So every Monday I'm hoping to launch a mental health video. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I do appreciate everyone coming by, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the comments below. I'm very open about myself and my disorder, so if you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to ask. And yeah, I appreciate everyone coming by. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with all my mental health videos, and if you're interested, any of my vlogs or tech videos and soon to be gaming videos. Those will be all in separate playlists, so make sure you check those out if you are interested. And until the next time, Maxie out.